This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining Gym. SuperTraining Gym, the strongest gym in the West, and we're here today at Slingshot World Headquarters. What I wanted to talk to you today is about your diet. I don't want you to get caught up in the dogma. I don't want you to get caught up in a religious practice with your nutrition. And I would like you guys to think about nutrition on maybe a little bit broader scale. And I would like to share with you my thoughts on it and things that have been productive for me. And maybe you'll find this helpful to implement it for you. Just a couple days ago, I made a tweet and I went back and forth with somebody, and it was good conversation. They asked a couple questions, and I posted a picture on Twitter as well where I'm super jacked and looking in pretty good shape. And I said, hey, this is a result of eating a bunch of peanut butter cups. And I was just kind of messing around, but I did eat some peanut butter cups. I ate a bunch of peanut butter cups and a bunch of Reese's Pieces, and they were absolutely delicious. And had a big old dinner and everything like that. My wife and I were having some fun in South Lake Tahoe. But what I wanted to share with you today is that, why not utilize a wide range of diets? Why not? Now, it wouldn't be great to mix diets and have two diets combined at the same time that have conflicting results, right? It wouldn't be good to be high carb and high fat because you probably just get fat. So you want to be careful of some of those things. But it's not a bad idea to move from one diet ideology into another. And the reason why I have employed this, and the reason why I have done this many times over, is that it feels more fun to me. Like, one thing you're gonna know, being in this game of fitness and being in this game of trying to figure out how to be less fat and how to stay in good shape and how to feel good about yourself, one of the main things for me has always been to keep things exciting, to keep things fun. And it's been fun to switch up. It's been fun to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go no carbs for like 2 weeks. But during those 2 weeks, I get to eat cheese, I get to eat bacon, I get to eat pepperoni, I get to eat like anything that has like a lot of fat in it, and anything that just doesn't have carbs in it, I get to eat. And I could really kind of lean into that kind of keto lifestyle. And again, we know this, if your calories are higher than what your body needs, you still might be likely to gain fat. So we wouldn't want to go too crazy with the amount of overall energy that we consume, because that energy can kind of stick to our body, right? But it's just fun to do that for a while. I know for me personally, when I travel, that a keto diet is like the easiest thing to follow, because whenever I go to a restaurant or even just going to a restaurant, a lot of times a restaurant, the food is going to have a lot more calories than if you were to eat something at home. At home I can make myself a salad, and I can pour just a little bit of olive oil on it, and I can pour a little bit of balsamic vinaigrette on it, and I can have a nice big healthy salad that has 8 grams of fat in it. But at a restaurant, a lot of times you're just going to take that ranch dressing and you're just going to dump it right on there, or they dump it on there for you, and you're looking at 30 grams of fat. That's a lot of fat just from your salad. And then you got your main entree coming, and maybe you ordered a cheeseburger and french fries, or maybe you ordered just a steak and a baked potato. But you're just looking at a very calorically dense meal. Maybe you had 1,000 calories before your actual meal even came, because maybe you had some bread and butter and stuff. And even if you had healthier intentions, it's still going to be hard to keep your overall caloric energy down. So, something that you might want to try is to implement keto. I've moved from keto to bodybuilding style diets, to utilizing protein leveraging, to doing the carnivore diet. The carnivore diet is one of my favorite styles of diet, because you just stick to basically one food. You basically have meat, which you end up with a wide variety of food actually, because there's a lot of different types of meat that you can eat. You can eat chicken, you can eat turkey, you can eat fish, you can eat beef, you can have elk, bison, insert whatever type of animal protein that you want, and that's eligible on a carnivore diet. In addition to that, you can have eggs, and you can have some things like bone broth. But for the most part, that's kind of where your food runs out. And you can also go from like a carnivore diet into implementing, into doing some of the things that I do, which is a meat-based diet. On a meat-based diet, the basis of everything is surrounded with meat. I have meat, and then I have veggies, and then I might have some fruit. Still a massive portion of the diet. Most of the calories, most of the energy I consume is from meat. Because if I'm going to eat a piece of fruit, it's going to have fiber in it, and it will have some sugar in it, but that's a minuscule drop in the bucket. If I eat one apple every day, I maybe have 80 calories. 80 calories from something that's, other than meat. So it's still, in my opinion, it's still a carnivore, very hard, very heavy carnivore style diet, but I just prefer to call it meat-based. So that way people don't get obsessed or upset with me and kind of turn this into a religious thing or turn it into some dogma. What I also learned can be really valuable is, why not have times with your diet where you're going in hard, where you're going in real intense. You're going to be on a scale of 1 out of 10, you're going to be a 10 out of 10 for 10 days straight. At other times, why not do a 90-10? Why not do an 80-20? Why not do a 70-30? One of my goals for this year is I want to get as lean as I can going through pretty much the rest of the year. I think, last year at Thanksgiving and last year I think at Christmas, I chose to, really be on point with my nutrition. This year, I decided last year that I wasn't going to do that this year. I was like, you know what? I should really probably enjoy some of the food that my family makes, and I should learn to relax on these days. But because I have turned this into a lifestyle, there's not a lot of days off, and if there is a day off, it's still a day on because it's all part of the plan. Remember, I talked about the detour. It's just going to take a little longer to get there because I'm going to decide to have some food and some meals and some things that I want. But for right now, I'm kind of more on a 90-10 deal, and I'm going to stay really strict and really tight to the diet, and I'm going to lean myself out as much as I possibly can. You guys saw that I was doing the carnivore diet for a while. I have switched into utilizing protein leveraging, which is just kind of keeping the protein through the roof. Right now the protein's between 350 and 400 every single day. Very hard to maintain that. I don't always get there, but I try my best to do that. And then I might have a baked potato, I might have some rice. This morning I had some egg whites and rice. The reason why I have gone to leaner meats and the reason why I cut out some of the fats is just because of the overall amount of food that I'm eating. I wanted to continue to strip body fat. So basically protein leveraging is kind of theory that protein doesn't have much of a caloric value. I'm of the opinion that it has 0. But some people think that it might have 2, other people might think that it has 1. But given that scenario, and when you eat 400 grams of protein, that's I think 1,600 calories worth of food that doesn't really count against you in terms of your overall calories. And so when you start to cut back on the fat a little bit, you start to cut back on the carbohydrates a little bit as well. Well, now we're in a really good caloric deficit. We're just not eating that much food that could be utilized as energy, because remember, carbohydrates are going to probably be used first and then fat. Protein would be last in terms of its usefulness for energy. Protein is more of a macronutrient that's for building, the building of muscle and the sustaining of muscle. And it's not really a great energy source, although sometimes amino acids can be. But anyway, this is kind of a theory of mine. This is called protein leveraging. I've referenced this many times, but it's been really effective for me. I think a lot of you guys would really enjoy it. I think a lot of you guys would really like it because I'm able to eat a lot of food. I would say in some sense that I almost view protein to being a little bit similar to fiber. Fiber doesn't really count against you in terms of its caloric impact, its caloric load. Sometimes it's even subtracted out of a lot of the apps that are utilized because it doesn't get digested by the body. It doesn't get utilized as energy. And I view protein as being similar. It takes a lot for your body to even assimilate the protein. So again, I don't really consider protein much of an energy source, and so I have leveraged it to utilize it to my advantage to assist me in my diet. Back to what I was talking about before about, switching diets. Don't be afraid to switch diets. Just because you're a keto person doesn't mean that you can't switch into having some carbohydrates post-workout. Just because you're a carnivore doesn't mean that you can't switch into eating a baked potato with dinner. Do what you think is going to be in your best interest, what's going to feel best for you. this is what feels best to me for now. But I'm gonna switch this up. You guys know me too good. You guys have seen too many of these videos. I'm always changing things up. I wanna change things up often so that I have fun with it. You can kind of look at it as a conjugate approach to your diet. If you check out markbell.com, I have like diet of the day on there. And you'll see my diet changed. My diet alters a little bit from day to day. It's not always the same exact thing. Why would it be? Why should it be? Does it need to be? I don't think so. Do you have different energy requirements for different times of year? Do you feel like you can push on the gas pedal a little bit harder certain times of year for certain things? What if I wanted to switch gears and if I really wanted to focus in on running? Well, I could change my diet. I could do something that I think would benefit my running and would be a real add-on to my running if I wanted to do that. What if I wanted to gain some size? Well, just eating meat probably wouldn't be the best thing to gain some size, or utilizing intermittent fasting wouldn't be the best thing to gain size. What if I wanted to come down a bunch? Well, if I wanted to come down a bunch, I could utilize intermittent fasting and I could utilize some of the protein leveraging that I'm doing now. That is what I'm doing right now because I'm trying to get leaner. I would like to, maybe I think by September, I think that I will be really lean. I think that maybe I'll be almost as lean as I was for the bodybuilding show, and I'm trying to do some of this without doing too much cardio. And when I say too much cardio, last time around I was doing like 90 minutes of it a day, and that's very specific. You know, cardio is very specific. Doing, you know, somebody's like, oh yeah, I walk all the time, or no, that's not really. Like cardio is, it's 30 to 45 minutes, I think, minimum. I don't think 20 minutes counts. 30 to 45 minutes, and it's a specific pace. So you're trying to keep your heart rate above like 130, depending on the person. You're trying to keep your heart rate above 130 for 30 minutes straight. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of sweating. I want to see if I can get basically as lean as I did for the bodybuilding show. And the reason why I don't want to do cardio is not because I hate cardio. I love doing cardio. Actually, it's actually kind of fun. I want to do it with a whole lot less cardio because I want to show to myself and I want to kind of prove to people that it can be, you can just get lean as shit and lean AF with just making it a lifestyle and without having to pour such a crazy amount of time into it. So it will be tough. It won't be easy. It'll be a good challenge, but that's what I'm going to lean into. And then, like I said, for Christmas, hopefully I'll maybe enjoy myself a little differently than I did last year, because that can be a bummer to be the only one eating a little bit more strict. Anyway, I hope you got something from this video. I hope you learned that you don't need to sign your life away. You know, just because you're a fan of Lane Norton, you're a fan of flexible dieting, that doesn't mean that you signed some contract with Lane Norton and you can never question anything that he says. It doesn't mean that you signed some contract with Paul Saladino or Sean Baker that you're going to forever be carnivore and you're never going to sway off of the diet. Look at Paul Saladino. He's a good example. I mean, he's started to do some things different with his diet, and now people are getting all upset and they get kind of outraged with him. But, you know, I think, look, any way that you can get yourself in better shape is a positive. Whether you did it with a lot of carbohydrates or whether you did it with more fat and protein in your diet, then, you know, I don't care how you get there. I would just like to see you get there. I would like to help you to fulfill some of your hopes and some of your dreams. And remember, you know, there's certain times of year where you can keep it, you know, 90-10, or it could be almost like 100 that you're at with your level of dieting. You can also loosen up the reins here and there and go 70-30, 80-20. 70-30 might be a little iffy. You're going to want to make some room for error. That's what bodybuilders do. They got certain seasons and certain times that they strive to look kind of perfect on a particular day. But how many times a year do they do that? They maybe only do that like twice, maybe 3 times, you know. So you might want to try to implement something similar for yourself just so things can be a little easier. Remember, try to keep this as a lifestyle. I feel like I'm in good shape all the time. I feel like I could pop my shirt off at any time, and I always feel like I'm fit. I always feel like I'm in good shape, and that's pretty amazing coming from where I came from, being 330 pounds. And so maybe this will be helpful to some of you out there as well. In the comments below, let me know how you are turning this into your lifestyle, because I think too many people treat things as like a diet. They are kind of missing that this is a lifelong journey. And the most fun thing that you're ever going to do is be on the journey and not necessarily get to the destination, because once you get to the destination, it's over with. And then you have to start over and kind of rebuild. So just remember that. Stay on that journey, stay on that hunt, work on getting better every single day. Strength is never weakness, weakness is never strength. Catch you all later.